Are you kidding me right now? After everything Rhea Ripley has done, after everything she sacrificed, after everything she's built from the ground up, there are still people questioning whether she can lead her team to victory at WarGames? The audacity, the absolute disrespect. What we witnessed on Raw last night wasn't just preparation, it was a masterclass in leadership that every single one of her doubters needs to watch on repeat until they understand what a real dominant force looks like. And if you're sitting there thinking her team doesn't have what it takes, then you haven't been paying attention, and honestly, you don't deserve to call yourself a wrestling fan. Let me be crystal clear about something before we go any further. Rhea Ripley is not just preparing a team for WarGames. She's assembling an army. She's creating a war machine that's going to leave her opponents questioning why they even stepped into that double cage in the first place. What happened on Raw was a statement, a declaration, a warning to anyone foolish enough to stand in her way. And the fact that some people are still sleeping on Team Ripley, that's going to make their victory even sweeter. From the moment Rhea's music hit and she walked out onto that stage, you could feel the intensity radiating through the screen. This isn't the Rhea Ripley who's here to play games or cut cute promos for social media clips. This is MAMI in full war mode, and if you can't recognize the difference, then you're already lost. She stood in that ring with a presence that commanded respect, demanded attention, and made it absolutely clear that WarGames isn't just another match for her, it's personal. Here's my first question for you. Do you think Rhea Ripley is the best leader in WWE right now, or is there someone better? Let me know in the comments, and this better be good. The way Rhea addressed her team wasn't some generic "let's work together" nonsense that we've heard 1,000 times before. She laid out exactly what's at stake. She broke down every single weakness their opponents have. She detailed the strategy, the execution, the mindset required to not just survive WarGames but to dominate it. This woman has been in the trenches. She's been through wars that would break lesser competitors. She knows what it takes to win when the pressure is at its absolute highest, and she's transferring that knowledge, that experience, that killer instinct to every member of her team. And can we talk about the team she's assembled? This isn't some thrown-together group of wrestlers who happen to be available. Every single person Rhea has chosen brings something unique, something lethal to the table. She's not just picking names, she's strategically building a unit where every weakness is covered, every strength is maximized, and every possible scenario has been accounted for. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's genius-level preparation. What really stood out during last night's Raw was the training segment. While other teams are out there cutting promos and making threats, Rhea had her team in the ring, in the gym, working. She was putting them through drills that simulated the chaos of WarGames. She was teaching them how to use the cage as a weapon, how to coordinate attacks, how to isolate opponents, how to survive when you're outnumbered. This is the difference between talking about winning and actually preparing to win. Quick question, which member of Team Ripley do you think will be the MVP at WarGames? Drop your predictions below. But here's where things got really interesting, and this is what separates Rhea from every other team leader in this match. She didn't just focus on the physical preparation. She got into the heads of her teammates. She addressed their doubts, their fears, their concerns about stepping into the most unforgiving structure in all of professional wrestling. She reminded them that fear is natural, but letting that fear control you is what gets you hurt. She looked each one of them in the eyes and made them believe that they are not just capable of winning, they are destined to win. That moment when Rhea pulled her team together and said, "When we step into that cage, we're not just a team, we're a family, and families protect each other no matter what." Chills, absolute chills, because you could see it in everyone's faces that they would run through a brick wall for her. That's the kind of loyalty you can't fake. That's the kind of bond that wins championships and makes history. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, because I know there are people watching this who are going to say, "But what about the other team? They look strong too." You know what? You're right. Their opponents do look strong on paper. They've got talent, they've got experience, they've got their own reasons for wanting to win. But here's the difference, they don't have Rhea Ripley. They don't have someone who's been to the top of the mountain multiple times and knows exactly what it takes to stay there. They don't have a leader who would literally tear the cage apart with her bare hands before she'd accept defeat. Here's something I need to know. Do you think experience or hunger matters more in WarGames? Tell me which one wins the match. The psychological warfare Rhea is playing is absolutely masterful. While her opponents are busy worrying about whether their team can trust each other, whether everyone is on the same page, whether egos might get in the way, Rhea has already eliminated those concerns. She's created an environment where everyone knows their role, respects each other's abilities, and is 100% committed to the collective goal. That's how you win WarGames. Not with the 5 best individual wrestlers, but with the 5 people who function best as a unit. And let's talk about the match order strategy, because this is where Rhea's brilliance really shines through. She didn't just randomly assign who enters the cage and when. She's thought through every possible scenario. She knows who can handle being the first one in, absorbing punishment and surviving until help arrives. She knows who's the most effective at turning the tide when the numbers game shifts. She knows who should be the closer, the one who comes in fresh and ready to demolish an already exhausted opposition. This is chess, not checkers, and Rhea is playing at a level her opponents can't even comprehend. What really got under my skin, in the best possible way, was when Rhea addressed the critics directly. She didn't shy away from the fact that people have doubted her. She didn't pretend that everyone believes in her team. Instead, she embraced it. She used it as fuel. She told her team, let them doubt us. Let them underestimate us. Let them think we're not ready, because when we prove them wrong, when we stand victorious in that cage with our hands raised, the look on their faces will make every single second of this preparation worth it. Be honest, have you been doubting Team Ripley, or have you been Team MAMI from day one? Confess in the comments. The intensity in Rhea's eyes during the entire segment was absolutely haunting. This isn't just about winning a match for her. This is about proving that she's not just a dominant individual competitor, she's a leader who can elevate everyone around her. This is about cementing her legacy as one of the greatest of all time. This is about sending a message to the entire women's division that when Rhea Ripley sets her mind to something, there is no force on earth that can stop her from achieving it. One moment that really stood out was when one of her teammates expressed doubt about whether they could actually pull this off against such tough competition. Instead of giving some cliché motivational speech, Rhea got right in her face and said, "I didn't choose you because I felt sorry for you. I didn't choose you because you were convenient. I chose you because I know you have what it takes to be a warrior. Now stop questioning yourself and start being what I already know you are." That's the kind of leadership that changes careers. That's the kind of belief that transforms good wrestlers into great ones. The training montage that followed was absolutely brutal. Rhea wasn't going easy on anyone. She was pushing them to their limits and then demanding they go further. She was creating the kind of pressure and chaos they'll face in WarGames right there in the performance center. Because she knows that if they can handle her intensity during training, they can handle anything their opponents throw at them during the actual match. Real talk, would you want Rhea Ripley as your team leader, or would she be too intense? Drop your honest answer. What makes this even more compelling is the target on Rhea's back. Everyone knows that if you take out the leader, the team falls apart. Her opponents are absolutely going to focus their entire strategy around neutralizing Rhea, around taking her out of the equation as early as possible. But here's what they are not understanding: Rhea has prepared for this. She's not walking into WarGames expecting to do everything herself. She's built a team that can function even if she's temporarily incapacitated. She's created multiple game plans, multiple contingencies, multiple paths to victory. The final moment of the segment, when the entire team stood shoulder to shoulder in that ring, staring into the camera with absolute murder in their eyes, that gave me goosebumps. That was the image of a team that's not just ready for war, they are eager for it. They want the chaos. They want the brutality. They want the opportunity to prove that they are the most dominant force in WWE. Here's what Rhea's opponents don't seem to understand: WarGames isn't won by the team with the most individual talent. It's won by the team that wants it more. It's won by the team that's willing to sacrifice everything. It's won by the team that has a leader who would literally burn the world down before accepting defeat. And that is exactly what Rhea Ripley brings to the table. Last question before we wrap this up: what's your prediction for WarGames? Does Team Ripley dominate, or is there an upset coming? Give me your full prediction. The build-up to WarGames has been incredible, but what we saw on Raw last night elevated it to another level entirely. This isn't just about bragging rights anymore. This isn't just about settling scores. This is about legacy. This is about who's going to be remembered as the team that conquered the most unforgiving match in wrestling history. And after watching Rhea Ripley prepare her team with that level of intensity, that level of detail, that level of passion, I genuinely don't see how they lose. So to everyone out there who's been doubting Team Ripley, who's been questioning whether MAMI can lead her team to victory, I've got a message for you: watch WarGames. Watch what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Watch what happens when a true leader steps into that cage with a team that would follow her into hell itself. And then you can come back and tell me whether you still have doubts. Rhea Ripley isn't just preparing for WarGames. She's preparing to make history. She's preparing to shut every single doubter up permanently. She's preparing to prove once and for all that when it comes to leadership, dominance, and pure will, there is no one, and I mean no one, on her level. This is going to be legendary. Make sure you smash that like button if you're Team Ripley. Subscribe if you haven't already because we've got so much more WarGames coverage coming, and absolutely destroy that comment section with your thoughts, predictions, and whether you think Team Ripley is going to dominate or get dominated. Wrestling Zone 1 out.